Okay, so I'm back out on this job where we put in this little road and the little pad back there, and the client wants me to do some more work here. So the plan here today is to basically, he wants to widen this road basically from about here and about where right there is out. So basically we're going to take from right here ish and then connect to that corner right there where the pad is, and then we're going to take this corner and go back about where those trees are. So he's had the container delivered. The container originally he wanted to put a I think a 30, because that was a 20 by 30 pad, and now the container, it's like a 50 footer or some ungodly thing. I mean, it's huge. So he's like, yeah, that really originally wasn't the plan, but things changed. So we discussed doing like we did with the road here, digging this out and digging this mat out again, but he doesn't want to do that. So we're just going to come in here and just put down the rock and grade it as best we can. That's what he wants to do, so that's what we're going to do. So no fabric, none of that. You know, like I said, this is not a driveway. There's not going to be a house here. This is just for this container and to be able to pull in through here. So that's what we're going to do. This is going to have to be graded out a little bit right here on the edges. So I'm going to do this with the skid steer probably tomorrow. Today I'm going to take down these trees and go ahead and drop. I'm going to go ahead and drop a couple of the loads today in here, and then we'll bring the skid steer in here. This side really doesn't need really any grading or anything like that, so I'll probably go ahead and just drop the loads for this side right here, go and start back there and drop some of that, and then I'll come in here tomorrow and we'll kind of just grade, dress down this left side a little bit and get that down. The big thing in here is today is there are some of these stumps. Like I said, you don't want me to dig anything out, so I'm gonna have to kind of low cut some of these stumps here. There's one there, there's a big one over right there. I gotta move some of these rocks. I gotta low cut that down so it's not sticking up. So he doesn't want any of that removed, so we're just gonna come in and dump it down, and that'll be what it'll be. So I know there was a lot of opinions on this last job. Somebody asked me about a culvert in the front. I discussed that with the client, you know, and I said, listen, I don't know if this is going to need a culvert or not, but based on, there's a pull-in for a mini storage down there, and there's another driveway down there as well for that radio tower. Neither one of those have culverts, and there's another pull-in right down there that doesn't have a culvert, and they basically have the same grade as this right here where we're at. So you know, there's a reasonable assumption there that this doesn't need a culvert. Plus, they're actually getting ready to come in and dig this up. You can see this right here. They're putting in water or sewer or something here. So they're going to be within the next week or so. They got a couple track hoes and bulldozer down there that they're using to put in something. It was green pipe, so I'm assuming it's either water or sewer. So we're going to get the chainsaw cranked up and get this thing started, get these couple trees out of here and get these stumps cut down and get a couple loads dropped today. So I'm gonna just drag these trees up to the existing pile where he's got some of this other stuff laid up. I'll come back and low cut these stobs down to as low as I can, and I guess when I come through here before I lay the rock on, there's a lot of pine straw duff in here. I may try to just kind of take the bucket and push a little of it back before I lay the rock on it a little bit, but that's all he really wants to do, so that's what we're gonna do. So let me get this hauled off over there, and we'll bring the dump truck in and try to drop a load maybe like right here, so and get this in here. Okay, so we are done. So that was 6 loads that I put in here. This is about 40 tons of additional crushed concrete, recycled concrete that we put in here. So yeah, turned out pretty well. Used the skid steer for this. I wish I had had the Mini to do this additional work, but I sold it a couple weeks ago, and just looking to buy something else. I almost pulled the trigger on a Takeuchi TB260, but when I went up and looked at it, it just wasn't in the condition that the dealership portrayed it to be in. Really, with the tracks were worn out, and I just didn't have an additional $4 grand or so to put into new tracks on that. So but yeah, this turned out pretty well. I rolled it in as best I could with the skid steer. Honestly, the Mini was better for compaction and rolling it down because it had much narrower tracks. So that has like the wide tracks on it, so you cover more ground, but it tends to float a little more than the Mini did. So but yeah, this turned out really well. And like I said, this is not a driveway. There's going to be no house here. This is just really like a construction entrance is really what this is. So I know a lot of people are going to have a lot of comments about my grading, whatever. Listen, this is only like the 3rd or 4th grading project I've done with the skid steer. So literally this is all, every time I do a grading project with the skid steer, it's nothing but a learning, sort of a learning process for me. So you know, to do is to learn. So I do and I learn. So but if you see something I could do better, hey man, make a comment, tell me on, hey, you know, here's something to try or whatever. Tips and tricks and all that stuff, I love it. If you're just gonna talk crap, whatever, man. So we all had to start somewhere. I don't do much grade work, but this guy, I've been delivering this stuff, this concrete. I typically don't grade it, but this guy's like, hey man, you know, just spread it out for me. And I was like, all right, you know, I'll put it in for you. So like, because I knew it wasn't gonna be anything fancy. He didn't want anything fancy. I met him over here the other day. He was real happy with the road and everything in the pad. So yeah, it turned out pretty well. So I guess I'm gonna wrap this up. It's supposed to rain here in a little bit tonight. So yeah, I think this is gonna be good. A lot of people were talking about it sinking, but you guys, I mean, it looks black over there, but I mean, everything under here is nothing but sand. I mean, the little bit of black in it is just a little bit of organic, but if you were to take your fingers like that and do that with it, I mean, it's nothing but sand. It just has a little organic washed into it. That's why it's black. So everything under here is pretty solid. Not to say this probably won't sink a little bit, but it's not gonna like sink into the ground or nothing like that. You're not gonna have that much loss with it. So yeah, it turned out pretty good. It's mainly just for 4-wheelers and a truck. You know, pull a truck in here with a couple 4-wheelers so they don't get stuck. Now they got a little more extra room. So all right, I'm gonna get loaded up and get out of here, man. I hope you guys are having a good New Year's, good Christmas, and Happy New Year to everybody. And I got some more content coming out. I've been absent for a bit, traveling for Christmas. I didn't really do much, so just seeing family and doing a lot of traveling. So but I got more content coming, and appreciate all the subscribers, all the support, everybody. Appreciate it, and I'll catch you guys later.